graduated from NYU, which, well, I would say we started our production company in 1997. I was still a student at NYU, and we called it Faith Filmworks because um, unwittingly, like in hindsight, I'm like, oh, that's the perfect name. But initially, it was like, we just believed that this was going to be a long road, and we needed some modicum of faith to, one, take the journey, and two, believe in ourselves, that we were that crazy enough to do it. And we did. Like when I graduated, it's like we packed up the truck and moved to Beverly, you know.
Yeah.
We did that, and we did it totally on chutzpah and faith. And in hindsight, looking at the trajectory of our careers since we started, like I look back at it like, wow, why did we think we could do that? And we did. So it's kind of the name becoming manifested in real time,
Right.
and here we are, and we're still forging paths that take a lot of guts and faith to try some things that aren't typical or ordinary. So it just works for us because that's the only way that I look at life. Like, if I have to have faith in something outside of myself, I have to have faith and belief in what I'm doing, and and I have to have faith and hope that others on the other side of what you're doing also can connect with the storytelling, because that's, like, honestly, making a film is not hard today.
But
Now,
telling a story that can transform
it's
or have
a
an experience for
miracle.
people
Yes.
is really important. It's
That's the hard part. Yes. That's like
that's
I
where the
said, make
magic has to happen. That's where the faith and
absolutely.
the heart and the all
That's
the hard
right.
work has, all the
So,
determination. And that's,
so
see,
this is,
go ahead.
we we I heard somebody say, like making a movie is really hard. Making a good movie is warfare. But making a great movie is a miracle. Um, I have in my and to me, how do you define a great movie? To me, a great movie is one in which an audience can have an experience watching your film outside of me. Like, I've done the work, and now let's present it to the audience. And if they can walk away and genuinely feel as if they went on a journey and had an experience, I'm like, that's the goal. And that part of it is not my business
Right.
beyond
It's
presenting the work.
right. And it's also we're going to take an offering in a second. Just a little pause for a quote. It's like when you're in the making, like you two are, and your whole team, it transcends. Like it's not really it's not really yours anymore. It's yours, but what makes it for the audience is the part that's really you can't explain. I mean, it's all of the energy and all of the things coming together because of the effort of and the storytelling. So we'll take a moment for an offering. So, Christine, since we were talking in that realm and how to tell a perfect story and have things happen to the audience, we're gonna, there's so many films you've done, and I did want to say that I loved watching the semi-autobiographical film this All About Us. It was so amazing, and I thought, oh, that young actor was so good in it. And I was like, at the end, I realized it was your son, but that he,
Uh,
how y'all got him to do all that stuff, but
yeah,
it was brilliant. I mean, and you had great cast in that as well. I love, I love, I love those two, but I love him a lot. I've seen him in a lot of work, and he's great. They're both
yeah,
great, but they were really great with the baby. I mean, they were
yeah,
really, you would have thought it was their child. And
yes.
I guess it didn't hurt that you were around to get him to all these things he had to do. I don't know how he got so sick. But
You
anyway,
know, that kid is currently studying in the BFA acting program at USC.
oh, that's wonderful because
Is that
he,
crazy?
well, he had the skills back then. I said he really did. He was like
That's
so,
right.
so
That's
perfect.
right.
So now on to Albany Road to me is a faith in action for the viewers, and in the making. It was a 25-year or
Mm,
something vision of yours. I know it's transformed to
yeah.
include other storylines. Um, you know, I have to say the cast is amazing. And when the film starts, it's high stakes right away. It's like stuff's on the line for people. People got to get places. People got to do things. And I think from the minute it begins, and what has it taken to hold that vision, keep it going, and see it to this point, and it is just a really moving film, and it really talks about, I mean, it like you have to trust, at some
Right.
level, life and the people around you, and that's how it is when you make a film, I think, too.
It is. And the thing that I can say about Albany Road, and especially after having done it, like sometimes you're just creating in a vacuum and you're doing the work. Like, like we're laying bricks,
Mhm.
right? And every day we just go out and lay more bricks, right? And sometimes when you're that granular with it, you really don't understand like the impact of what you've done until you've laid all the bricks and you stand back and you look at it and you're like, oh my goodness, I think we just created something really interesting. Now I understand what was in the writing, and I understood, the details of it again on a granular level, but there's no guarantee that it's going to work. It's just again the faith that comes into doing what you do, with a sense or inkling that, I think this is going to work. I
Mhm.
think this is going to work. And then convincing other people this is going to work. Come with me on this
Yeah,
journey.
enroll them in your journey,
That's
enroll them
right.
in your
And
journey.
then we just start laying the bricks, and you just keep doing that, until you finish what you've done. And then again, it's the offering that we make to the audience that we build for, that we then hand it over. And the way I look at it, and this is where I believe my faith comes in, is after I've made that offering, the rest is not my business.
Right.
Truly, you make that offering and you pray that the Lord blesses it
Mhm.
only in the way that others may receive it. Like with his blessing on it, how they receive it is now God's business.
With them.
That's right. That's right. So this is why filmmaking is such a tricky thing, because it's particularly now, because um, pre-pandemic, going to the movies was a regular thing. Post-pandemic, it's really about the small screen and
Mhm.
streaming services and what have you. So to get even people to watch a film in a theater, is not it's not a foregone conclusion as if, people will automatically show up. It's you really have to earn. You have to earn their viewership. And then the hope is in earning your viewership, I will have made it worth your time.
Well, this film, you definitely have made it worth people's time.